This morning, we are delighted to be recognizing the 2015 Ashoka U Cordis Innovation Awardees. To give you a little bit of history, in 2011, Ashoka U partnered with the Cordis Foundation to create these awards with the goal of recognizing top educational approaches in social entrepreneurship within higher education. We assembled a judging panel to review many strong applications, and they chose 6 innovations to recognize this year. They were selected based upon 3 criteria. The first being innovation. Does this model address a clear challenge or opportunity for advancing an entrepreneurial or socially impactful mindset, skill set, and culture within the university context? Number 2, replication. Can this model be easily adapted without losing quality and impact? And finally, maturity. Is there evidence of refinement and iteration of the model over time? So we're really looking at innovations with a track record and history and high potential for being spread and disseminated amongst all leading institutions for social entrepreneurship. In the words of Ron Cordis, co-founder of the Cordis Foundation and founder of the award, the Ashoka U Cordis Innovation Award casts a broad net and identifies the best and brightest innovations that are really affecting the ability of our students to be change makers. Before you hear from the 6 amazing awardees this year, I'd like to introduce Spencer Tunn, Executive Director of the Cordis Foundation, and Stephanie Cordis, Vice Chair of the Cordis Foundation.
Well, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Okay. Well, I'm so delighted to be here, and thank you, Bita, for the introduction. But I have to say, we have to congratulate Bita because I know she's the conductor and mastermind of all that is Ashoka U. And I know Bita doesn't like this, but she makes us look so effortless, from all the phone calls and emails and the logistics. The fact that everything starts on time is just incredible. So if I just know this is something I could never do, so I'm so humbled to be working with you on this. But thank you all so much for giving us the opportunity to be here today. I am Spencer, and I get to I have the privilege of leading the Cordis Foundation with my friends and my colleagues and family, Stephanie Cordis and Eric Stevenson. And it's exciting because, in this room we have a very illustrious group of faculty, so I wanted to share with you that I actually have a perfect attendance record, which is something that's pretty rare for the people that work with me that know me. I have been to every single Ashoka U exchange since the first one at Google's DC campus. And when we started in DC, we had about 90 people in a room who were talking about opportunities and pedagogy and social entrepreneurship education. But today, 5 years later, we have over 700 people from all around the globe talking about social entrepreneurship education. And to me, that's a huge evolution in the field. Today, we're talking about tactics, and we're talking about replication. And that's why we're particularly proud to sponsor the Cordis Innovation Awards. But I wanted to give you just a little bit of background about the Cordis Foundation. At the Foundation, we are tasked with one basic task. We want to see an end to poverty globally. And the reality is that we all know that that's not a simple task, but for us, how do we effectively deploy capital so that we can address the world's most challenging problems through social entrepreneurship? And so for us, we've devised a strategy around 3 key things, right? One is on women and girls empowerment. The second one is market-based solutions. And the third one is what we call ecosystems. And the ecosystem is how we support the landscape of brilliant people that work like Echo & Green and Ashoka, and the Center for Social Impact Learning at Middlebury, and Ashoka U. And it's the ecosystem that we think that's so important because that's what's kind of helps us build our overarching strategy. As we look at our work in sub-Saharan Africa or Latin America or Asia, as we deploy capital, one of the recurring themes that we see is that we invest in entrepreneurs. They're typically millennials. These are the young people that have graduated from college and have said, wow, I learned something that really inspired me when I was in college, and now I want to make a difference in the world. And so at the foundation, we know that this investment is probably one of our most strategic investments by investing in young people. In fact, it represents our largest investment in our philanthropic portfolio, is our investment in young people. But I want to just end with a thought, is that the reason why we at the foundation love Ashoka U so much is because they're helping us reframe the way we look at the academy. Before, I think and certainly when I was in college, I think the notion was, how do we create the next generation of young leaders through the framework of publish or perish? And today we have this new framework that I think is particularly inspiring, which is deploy or die, which I really like, because how do we create really game-changing solutions for the world and be able to test it on the ground immediately and test our assumptions? I have a friend and mentor of mine, Yue Shi, who's here in the audience. He's the academic director at the Center for Social Learning. The other day I had a really great conversation with him, and he said something that I thought was pretty exciting. He said, it's funny, the old way of research is that we plug in 30 data points into SPSS or a data set, and we'll get, hopefully we'll draw a conclusion. But the reality today is that a company like Walmart has a better understanding of what infant mortality rates in sub-Saharan Africa look like by just looking at big data and consumer trends. So we know the academy is evolving, and it's important that we have leaders like Ashoka U who help us reframe this conversation on higher education. But having said that, we're just so delighted to be able to help support this award, because earlier Bita was talking about the 3 criteria, and the one criteria that really excites me the most is replication, because we're looking at the future of social entrepreneurship, and the more and more that we can get higher education leaders to help prepare this next generation of young leaders, then I think the better off we all will be. So at this time, I'd like to introduce my dear friend and colleague, Stephanie Cordes, who's the vice chair of our foundation, to offer you some remarks. And heartfelt congratulations to the 6 award winners. Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by offering some warm regards from the Cordes Foundation's co-founders and my parents, Marty and Ron Cordes, who are so sad that they are unable to attend the exchange this year, but offer everyone an inspiring exchange and offer their congratulations to the 6 award winners we're going to honor this morning. In 2006, the foundation was established to champion bold and innovative solutions to the world's toughest problems, with a focus on poverty alleviation and the empowerment of women and girls to fully participate in the development of their communities. In 2014, I joined the foundation as vice chair along with Spencer and our portfolio director, Eric Stevenson, and are now leading our initiatives in equipping the next generation of social entrepreneurs. With that, one of our key programs is the Ashoka U Cordes Innovation Awards, which celebrates groundbreaking programs that are advancing the field of social entrepreneurship through curriculum and experiential learning. Just last week, actually, Spencer and I had the opportunity to participate in one of the 2013 award-winning programs called Frontier Market Scouts in Amsterdam. And through this experience, we're able to see how catalytic and educational impact these programs can truly have. Now, today, these 2015 award winners are shining examples of what young people can achieve. And we hope that by spotlighting them, they can inspire others to harness their own power and make a difference. As Ashoka's founder, Bill Drayton, says, everyone is a change maker. This morning, I'd like to congratulate the 6 award winners with the hope that you will take this recognition from Ashoka back to your campuses with pride and challenge others to think about how they can replicate your vision and expand your impact. Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer and Stephanie. Now we'll kick it off and start recognizing our very first 2015 Ashoka U Cordes Innovation Awardee. We're going to start with ChangeTheWorld.org, a program of the Center for Social Value Creation at the University of Maryland. ChangeTheWorld.org is a nonprofit consulting program which provides university students with real-world business consulting experiences while building the capacity of resource-constrained nonprofits eager to run their organizations more strategically. Please welcome to the stage Pammy Bular, leader of ChangeTheWorld.org and program director for experiential learning at the Center for Social Value Creation. Congratulations, Pammy.
Hi, everyone. I'd like you to take a step back in time to when you were a sophomore in college. If you were like me, you were eager to take on the world, right? Seeking internships, exploring career paths, building relationships, the whole bit. It was like sifting through a buffet of endless career opportunities, right? Sort of. You know, one thing was missing. Experience. Oh yeah. Just about every job you wanted required experience. Well, how do you get experience if no one will hire you? This is where Change the World comes in. Welcome to the Ashoka U Exchange. My name is Pammy Buller, and I'm the Program Director for the ChangeTheWorld.org nonprofit consulting program. Change the World, or CTW as we call it, connects talented university students to committed nonprofit organizations in project-based consulting partnerships. Now, according to a recent study, when asked if students believe if they are well prepared to apply their skills to the real world, 59% said yes. Employers had an alarmingly different perspective, with 22% sharing the same view. Change the World provides real-world consulting opportunities to students, to all students, studying business, government, the arts. Even bioengineering students are working together on multidisciplinary teams to develop solutions, such as earned revenue plans and marketing and program evaluation plans, managed right here at the University of Maryland in our Center for Social Value Creation. Change the World provides opportunities for students to apply their classroom concepts to real business challenges. And our student consultants are working side by side with change leaders in the nonprofit sector. According to our most recent survey, 9 out of 10 students said that they can apply their classroom concepts to their CTW project. And over 95% of our students have indicated that their skills have improved due to their participation in CTW. Take part-time MBA student Raul Shah, for example. Although Raul is currently working in an insurance company, he is fully committed to working in nonprofit consulting. Now, as a career switcher, he was seeking professional, skill-based experience. So with Change the World, he and his team worked with Accountability Lab, a nonprofit focused on international development, specifically anti-corruption in Nepal and Liberia. They were working to successfully replicate the lab's models so that they could move into new markets. Now, working remotely, he and his team learned everything they possibly could about the organization, from their operating procedures to how they work with the local community. Their research was then standardized and compiled into an easy-to-use document, which consequently became the team's deliverable, a handbook that is now being used as a model to establish regulations, standards, and guidelines for the lab's new ventures. Now, Raul's participation in 3 different Change the World projects has benefited him in 3 ways. 1, by reaffirming his passion for nonprofit consulting. 2, by demonstrating how his skills are transferable to the impact sector. And 3, by building his experience towards a new career path. By demonstrating responsible project management, creativity, and building team cohesion, Raul is now a part of Change the World's first international consulting project, in which he and his team are working with and traveling to the Tibetan Children's Village in India to co-develop an entrepreneurship curriculum. You know, Change the World's not only for graduate students. In fact, we believe it's critical for undergraduates to be working on the consulting process early on so that they too can hone in on their creative problem-solving skills. Commenting on her Change the World project, undergraduate Estefania Cordova said, "It was a transformative experience because it allowed her to apply a combination of her technical knowledge and personal experience on a real business challenge. As a result, she understands what she is capable of and what she needs to further develop." Now, students are not the only ones benefiting from Change the World. In fact, our latest feedback from our clients is that over 80% of our clients have implemented at least 50% of the recommendation. Yeah, our student consultants are making real change. In order to scale our impact, Change the World partners with other universities as well by providing scoped consulting projects with committed nonprofit organizations from around the world. In order to create sustainable impact, we want to form a movement. By strengthening the capacity and the business acumen of nonprofits, while empowering students to apply their classroom concepts to a real business challenge and positively impact society, we hope that the trickle effect will be more students making socially, economically, and environmentally better decisions in whatever career path they pursue, and more nonprofits marrying the passion with a more business-like approach to changing the world. We would love for you to join us in this movement. Over the past 8 years, we've developed relationships with over 200 nonprofits through our consulting partnerships. So if you're a staff member or a faculty member or a student leader, please come talk to me to learn more about how we can help our students to bring a confident, collaborative, and socially conscious mindset to their careers. Thank you.
Congratulations. Our next innovation awardee is Swearer Sparks at Brown University. Swearer Sparks is an online platform for the social innovation community to connect with one another to share ideas, experiences, and beliefs through the power of digital storytelling. Their website's multimedia stories are created by students in the Storytellers for Good program, and together the program and platform function as a dynamic storytelling and relationship-building machine powered by the Brown community. Please welcome to the stage Alex Bronstein, leader of Swearer Sparks and communications manager at the Swearer Center for Public Service at Brown. Congratulations, Alex.
I want you to raise your hand if one of the following statements applies to you. Raise it high, okay? If you've ever had a subscription to National Geographic magazine. All right. If you have cried while watching a documentary film. And if you have binged on episodes of the podcast Serial, Radiolab, or This American Life. All right. So this may come as a surprise to some of you, but if you raise your hand to 2 or more of those statements, you're a storyteller. It's okay, I am too. When I took this job at Brown University, it's because I believed fervently in the power of storytelling to create impact on many dimensions. I could see how stories were not only changing the people who created them and their subjects, but also their subjects' communities and the world. Today I'm going to tell you about the work we've done at Brown over the past year and a half to help our social innovation community grow and connect through storytelling. So 8 years ago, my boss, Alan, was hired to create a social innovation program at Brown University. He was hosting a dinner for students who run social ventures and to offer them his advice, when one of them bluntly stated, "Look, what we need here is a network." And that idea, that desire for community and network, is a powerful engine that fuels our work today. But as this community grows, we've discovered 2 problems. First, despite this predominant culture of social justice at our university, many people still don't understand the term social innovation or know what it means. And second, our network building model was really a hub with spokes, so people would come to us and we'd send them out again, which was inefficient. So the solution of storytelling began as our hypothesis and continues to this day to be our experiment. We believed if we could combine the raw ingredients of people with storytelling skills, equipment and training they needed, a storytelling platform, and a little bit of staff guidance, we would have content that creates stronger definitions of our social innovation work and stronger, more numerous connections formed within our community. So this took shape into 2 main parts, a website called Swearer Sparks and a student program called Storytellers for Good. Swearer Sparks launched in 2014, May. Right now there are over 200 stories on the site that include written narratives, audio stories, and photo essays. Our stories are all created by students at Brown. And while our multimedia stories are created by a special group of students that I'll talk about in a moment called Storytellers for Good, we actually have written contributions from dozens of students and alums across the university working on a broad range of community issues. For all of our stories, we ask ourselves three main questions. First, would it be accessible? So our voice is conversational and personal, not academic. We really strive to be a space where all members of the Brown community can share their story. Second, is the story relevant? So lessons, perspectives, and advice are shared that have practical relevance to students exploring issues of social justice. And finally, are we inspired? Our stories bring a positive lens to issues that are otherwise reported on as crises or challenges. We really want members of our community to feel moved and empowered to act. What's really cool about Sparks is it's also built on a flexible platform where content is framed with context. So users don't only see stories, but they also see connections to other people, programs, and issues in our community. So at the same time, we created a program called Storytellers for Good for a group of 4 to 6 students each semester who are passionate about digital media and social justice. And I remember when a freshman named Liza came up to me at a campus fair during our first semester when we launched the program. I thought no one would come talk to me. She marched right up and said, "I think I have to do this." That's Liza holding the microphone in that photo. And demand has been really strong since then. It turned out Liza was a photographer and a budding audio producer. And with talent like hers and others, we knew it was possible to create a value exchange where students make high-quality content and we provide a valuable learning experience. This experience now includes storytelling workshops, alumni mentors, and weekly editorial meetings, not to mention access to amazing visitors from places like National Geographic, National Public Radio, This American Life, and The Moth. The work these storytellers do echoes so many of the learning outcomes we strive for in our social innovation programs. Empathy, resilience, self-awareness, understanding context, iteration, distillation, and the ability to adapt with critique. I think it's summed up well in this quote from Liza. Here are some of her images from a recent photo essay, who said, "Storytellers for Good gives me a space to talk with hugely inspiring changemakers about what drives them and how they do what they do. It's an incredible privilege, but it's also helped me understand how, by using my own media skills to share their work and ideas in a way that makes people care, I have the power to make an impact too." So I look at impact on a number of levels. At Brown, our storytellers are having transformational learning experiences that give them insight into narrative, social innovation, and themselves. The subjects of our stories are given a space to reflect on and promote their work. And this January, we received nearly 60 nominations from the Brown community to tell their story. Our community, Brown, frequently features our stories on their homepage, their social media, and I see the next evolution of this work as looking outward at the world to ask ourselves, what more can storytelling do? Stories can advocate for change. They can give voice to the voiceless in society. They can transform culture. There are many possible directions for this work to go. On that note, I'd like to end with a call to anyone here who can help me complete these dots. So please find me if you know of storytelling programs on other campuses that we can learn from, if you're thinking about ways to measure the growth and connectivity of networks, if you have feedback on our website, and most importantly, if you think this model could be useful on your campus or you'd like to know more about the resources we've used to make it happen. I'm very excited to talk with anyone with questions, ideas, or interest. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alex, and congratulations again. Next, we welcome the Capital Coast Savings Innovation Hub at the Sauder School of Business Center for Social Innovation and Impact Investing at the University of British Columbia. This innovation is a dynamic and supportive one-year accelerator program that brings together ventures, students, faculty, and the business and social innovation communities to amplify the growth and impact of social ventures. The program includes a co-working space, a workshop tailored to the unique needs of social ventures, business coaching and advisory services, an internship program, mentorship, and finally, peer networks. Please welcome Joanna Buxkowska-McCumber, Director of Social Innovation at the University of British Columbia, to the stage.
Thank you, Vida. And a big thank you to the Cordis Foundation for having this award, and we're very grateful for receiving it, and for Ashoka for hosting this amazing exchange. Just to repeat, my name is Joanna Buczkowska-McCumber. I am the Director of Social Innovation. The Coast Capital Savings Innovation Hub is an initiative of the Center for Social Innovation and Impact Investing at the Sauder School of Business at UBC. And if that's not a mouthful, you can come at the end of the presentation and repeat it to me. Maybe you'll get a prize. From now on, I'm just going to call it the iHub, or the Innovation Hub. The startup world and the world of starting up a social venture is hard. It's extremely risky, and more often than not, it's an extremely lonely path. 70 to 90%, depending on what research you look at, of startups and social ventures fail in the first 18 months of operations. During that really sensitive and risky time, entrepreneurs often say that they're extremely overwhelmed with the amount of information and noise coming their way. They're overwhelmed with the decisions they need to make, and simply what to focus on in order to actually grow their social ventures and then to achieve the social impact they're seeking to achieve. And imagine if during that very sensitive time, they actually had a support system, both in terms of programming, but also in terms of a community they could fall back on in order to grow their businesses. When we looked around Vancouver in 2010, at the social venture community, social entrepreneurship community, what we saw was a huge gap of support systems that actually worked with social entrepreneurs beyond the ideation stage to really accelerate their growth of their social ventures. And so what we thought about was actually creating a physical space that was coupled with a program that would provide the skills and networks to social entrepreneurs to actually grow and focus on growing their social ventures and amplifying their impact. And really, that's where the idea of the Innovation Hub was born. With funding from Coast Capital Savings, a credit union in Vancouver, we were able to launch the Coast Capital Savings Innovation Hub. The vision for the program is to propel social entrepreneurship in British Columbia by creating a dynamic and supportive space where social ventures and social entrepreneurs can grow and amplify their impact they're seeking. It is about also connecting the university resources that we have in British Columbia with that community, with bringing students on board, with bringing the business community and innovation community at large on board with this program, and really creating an ecosystem of change. And so how does it actually work? It's a comprehensive program, but it's fairly simple. It's a 12-month accelerator program for high potential social ventures that come to the program through a competitive process. They're in their first 3 years of operations, usually in the early or mid stages of revenue generation. And they come and co-locate with us in our dedicated space in the Innovation Hub. They do go through an entire program in that year where we bring them through the lean startup model, design thinking, but also start talking about topics such as investment readiness, financial literacy in business, legal considerations, marketing, branding, and then things like impact measurement of how you're actually going to measure the impact of your social venture. We coach the ventures throughout the year. We provide them mentorship through our mentor network. We provide them peer learning opportunities, access to knowledge capital at the university, as well as student engagement through our internship program that all ventures access, through our partnerships with the different student clubs on campus, but also through class assignments, real case studies, and other opportunities where we bring the ventures into the classrooms at Sauder and at UBC. We also run several collaborative events throughout the year where we showcase the ventures and bring the larger community of innovators in Vancouver together, like our Propelling Social Ventures Conference, our Innovation Jams, and our Mentor Network events. The Innovation Hub is really about building community inside and out. It's about building the cohort of social ventures that are currently in the program, but also adding that onto the alumni cohort and really building that peer network of change makers. But it is also working with external and internal partners at the university. We realize just like the social entrepreneurs can't achieve success, the biggest success alone, we can't do it either. We need the support of our partners. Our university partners help us in delivering the program components of the iHub. They help us engage with the student body at large at UBC, and they also help us co-create future programs that are going to affect the iHub, such as our Impact Seed Fund that we're launching later this year. A huge part is working with our external partners in the community as well. It's about making real collaborations with impact accelerators that exist in Vancouver and other accelerators, tech accelerators that are out in Vancouver. But it's also working with the business community and other organizations that we bring actively into the Innovation Hub to deliver the program, to collaborate on events, and really grow that ecosystem of change. And there's no other way to talk about the success or how the program really works without talking about the key people in the program who are the entrepreneurs and the ventures that they're actually creating. So I want to share a couple of those stories with you right now. This is Arbutus Medical, a group of 4 biomedical engineers that are currently working with us at the iHub. They've developed a surgical drill cover that goes on a regular DeWalt drill that can be used in orthopedic surgery for a fraction of the cost that a regular surgical drill will cost you. They're now distributing this drill across under-resourced hospitals in East Africa to provide surgeons the opportunity to create safer surgical environments. We're working with them right now to prep them for the next round of funding, which will enable them to grow their venture, then to have more impact and have more hospitals access to this amazing technology. We've got Victory Gardens, one of our first-year social ventures. That's a workers' cooperative in Vancouver that believes that everybody should know where their food comes from and how to grow it. And they've been working with communities and residents in Vancouver to build gardens, not only in community spaces, but in your own homes. This is Change Heroes. They're an online friend fundraising platform that really wants to speak to the millennial generation to create a new way of giving. They use this model to build schools and libraries across Africa. They're actually, as a social venture, getting ready for a Series A fundraising, which is a unique place for a social venture to be. They have developed a white label platform that is going to be funded. But more important, they've actually been able to build 175 schools in Africa through their fundraising platform, which will then actually impact 175,000 children that will now have access to school. Mealshare is really turning the dining out and restaurants experience into a helping out model. Through using their buy one, give one model in restaurants across Canada, they've been able to provide over 195,000 meals to people in need across cities in Canada through their charity partners, but also in the developing countries. Last but not least is Clean Start, one of our very first social ventures that joined the iHub. They're a hoarding and junk removal company that works in the downtown east side to employ individuals with barriers. When they first came to us, it was just Dylan, the gentleman in front. He had this idea and he was trying to get all this work done, but he was just overwhelmed. He had health issues and he just couldn't do it alone. In the time that they've been with us for the last 3 years, they've gone through an entire rebranding process, restructuring in terms of how to actually run the social venture. And just last week, I'm so excited to share this with you and just anybody, is they won their first $1 million bid to provide junk and hoarding junk removal services to the BC Housing Association in our province, which is a huge economic impact for them as a social venture. But more important than that is the fact that because of this, they're now going to be able to triple, if not quadruple, their employment abilities for people in the downtown east side, which is a huge impact that they can have in our community. As these entrepreneurs, they can't, as amazing and brilliant and passionate as they can't achieve the success and the impact that they seek as quickly and as well alone as they can do it together. That's the case for us as well. It's about working together to create a better world tomorrow. We at the Innovation Hub and at the Sauder School of Business believe that we can create a better world tomorrow through social innovation and entrepreneurship. But we need to create ecosystems that provide the opportunities for business to truly innovate with social purpose, that allows students to have meaningful learning opportunities that can be applied, that students are allowed to grow, but also ecosystems that allow and support social entrepreneurs to flourish and grow and succeed, and for their impact to actually be amplified, to be scalable. In the end, we are all in this ecosystem together. We're all building the ecosystem. The stories of these social entrepreneurs and social ventures is what really drives us in Vancouver and at the iHub to keep on going. Because these are the people that are going to change the way not only our communities grow, but the way that the business world grows. And so if you want to learn more about these social ventures or our program in general, please come and talk to me. I'm more than excited and can probably rattle on for hours about all the amazing work that these individuals are doing. So big thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. Our next innovation awardee is the Sustainability and Social Innovation Residential Academic Program at the University of Colorado Boulder. This innovation provides engaging academic, social, and interdisciplinary environment for freshman students living in the residence halls who are eager to solve the world's most challenging problems. Building on the residence hall culture, students take on innovation courses, develop their own social ventures, and meet outstanding social entrepreneurs. SSI RAP was founded by Professor Susan Clark, and its lead instructor and curriculum developer is Francie Milner. Congratulations.
Okay, get this straight. Good morning. My name is Francie Milner. This is Susan Clark. Many of you are juniors and seniors in college. I think many of our students have left, but some of you are still here. Others of you are faculty, and many of you are very much at ease on your campus. But can you remember back to that first day you walked onto campus? I mean, maybe you felt a little lost. See if I can get this going. Lonely, confused. I know how I felt my first day coming from a very small town to the Boulder campus. Frightened, unsure, right? So we all know, if we can remember, that being a freshman is not easy. As a matter of fact, you're facing an unknown future. You want to make friends. You want to succeed in college. That's scary. And for some of us, we wanted also somehow to make a difference. So if you could have created an ideal space for yourself on your college campus that first semester, a space where you could find friends, where you could really feel at home, you could work on something important in the world, what would that space have looked like? You picture it in your mind. We did imagine such a space, and we created a space at Boulder for our freshmen to connect with their peers and to work on something bigger than themselves. And now I'm going to ask Susan to tell you a little bit more about it.
So our space is this amazing, wonderful LEED Platinum building. Our freshmen have to live on campus, so we have 2 floors of this building for our program, a residential academic program for freshmen who choose to be in the building with us. The building makes a difference because they live there and they also go to classes in the same building. Of course, the students are the critical key ingredient, and as I say, our students select us to be in the program with us. And what they get with the program are small classes, collaborative teamwork, and the chance to easily and quickly find students and friends that share their passion, that actually want to change the world as well. The faculty are important. Our faculty is interdisciplinary. We come from all over campus, the business school, like Francie, arts and sciences, like me, engineering backgrounds. We also have a faculty in residence. And what we emphasize to parents is we provide essentially 24/7 support. The students have teaching resident assistants. These are graduate students who live in the building with them on the same floors. So they're there to help them with kind of their personal lives as well as their academic dilemmas and experiences and all the things that don't make any sense when you're a freshman. They also have undergraduate peer mentors. These are students that lived in the RAP before. They were there the previous year usually. So they know the ropes of the RAP. They figure out what's going on the campus. They can help students, as someone pretty much like them, understand what they need to be doing, what they need to be thinking about next. So support's critical, and our other critical ingredient we feel is the experience that students get. These are some pictures from our expos at the end of the semester. This is something arts and sciences don't do. We don't do posters in my field. But engineering colleagues said that what students need to be able to do is to present their ideas in front of critical external judges. These are projects that they developed in our cornerstone course, Social Entrepreneurship and Sustainability, that Francie developed. And they provide these opportunity for students to present these ideas that they delivered and kind of constructed collaboratively in front of external judges, get prizes, sometimes money, also membership in a co-working space, Spark, in Boulder, where they can continue to develop. And we had other ways that they kind of connect now to the outside world by working with internship programs and working with social entrepreneurs who come to campus and talk about their activities as well.
So this all sounds pretty good, right? I would have liked this kind of program when I was at Boulder long ago. But as we all know, the proof is in the pudding. What have been our results over the first 3 years of our RAP's existence? Well, we've had increased demand for our program. Our interviews with students, our evaluative surveys have shown a positive impact. And we've liked to look at what our RAP grads, meaning once they've left that freshman experience, what are they accomplishing? So I would like to share with you the story of one of our RAP grads who is now a junior, Anthony. And Anthony took my social entrepreneurship and sustainability course that first year when we opened the RAP in 2012. Did really well. He went on to take the internship course in the spring in the RAP. And in that course, he met Lee Shanus. And Lee is a wonderful social entrepreneur who works with immigrants. Lee became Anthony's mentor. And together they came up with an idea for T-Bridges. So T-Bridges is a social enterprise that is designed to bridge this gap between the younger and the older generations. Through technology, through mentor-mentor relationships, student volunteers teach older adults how to access the digital world. And the seniors share their life stories with the students. So this venture has had great startup success. Anthony and his co-founder won a local competition called Project Awesome, designed to choose those students who are doing the most for the community. They were invited to speak at the Diversity Summit in Boulder this fall, and recently they've been talking with AARP, a very large National Association for Advancement of Retired Persons, who is interested in saying, let's work together to help serve seniors who want to learn more about technology.
So this sounds like a great success story, and it is. It's a terrific success story. Anthony, we think, got the knowledge base, he got the ideas, working with students in the RAP, and then he went out as a sophomore, after he graduated from the RAP, into the university, and there's nothing there, or he didn't know where things were. So we realized that what we had done in creating a successful RAP was create a new problem for students in the RAP, for students like Anthony, students that wanted to know what's next. So Francie and I took a human-centered design course last summer, and that was our project, what's next? How do we figure out what's next as an infrastructure on campus to help direct students to the resources, to the people they should be talking to the people in the community itself. So we brought together again our SEEDS group, which is a social entrepreneurship, equitable development, and sustainability group. It's a faculty student group. Some of the members are here now. Some of our former initial members are here now. It's a faculty student group that was conducting research on social entrepreneurship in non-Western settings that brought us to the attention of Ashoka. that helped us launch the RAP. We brought them together again for our next new problem, which was really to figure out how to help students connect the dots. So we wanted to be able to develop a website, a portal that would help students understand where the different resources were at different points of the innovation process. One of the students that's developing it is here. And our asset mapping of campus and the community helps students like Anthony to figure out what to do after they have the next big idea.
So how can you share in this experience, maybe contribute to this experience? We would like to gather your ideas for high impact, low cost strategies to connect the dots on our campuses and in our communities for our students. And what we'd like to suggest is that we all work together with Ashoka to develop really a social media strategy for sharing those ideas that will help our students answer that question, what's next? So in the words of Helen Keller, alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Francie and Susan. Next, I'd like to award the Social Entrepreneurship Accelerator at Duke, or SEED. In partnership with USAID, SEED mobilizes the Duke community in collaboration with practitioners, investors, and policymakers to identify, assess, build capacity, and scale the impact of innovative solutions, technologies, and business models for global health. Duke's Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship, International Partnership for Innovative Healthcare Delivery, and the Duke Global Health Institute lead the program. Please welcome Matthew Nash, Managing Director of Social Entrepreneurship, Duke Innovation Entrepreneurship Initiative, and the Center Director of Social Entrepreneurship Accelerator at Duke, Center for Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship. Thank you, Matt, and congratulations.
Bad time to get a text from my wife just as I'm walking up the stage. Hope all's okay with her. We've got no power back home in North Carolina. Well, good morning. Good timing. My name is Matt Nash, and healthy women raise healthy children who eat better, stay in school longer, creating stronger families, stronger communities, and stronger nations. Now, some of you may know, every 2 minutes, a woman dies in childbirth. So if you think about that, from the time we started yesterday until we get on the buses to come back tomorrow, that means more than 1,700 mothers will die. Women in sub-Saharan Africa are 136 times more likely to die than women in the West. From the onset of labor until about 48 hours after delivery is a very risky time for women, especially in developing countries. At that period, around the world each year, more than 145,000 women die in childbirth, more than 1.2 million stillbirths occur, and there are more than 1.4 million neonatal deaths. And the sad thing is that many of these are from relatively preventable causes. Now, in a room full of change makers, we know that wicked problems are opportunities for innovation. And I'm happy to tell you that from some of our work over the last several years, we're finding that there are proven solutions that have the opportunity to dramatically increase access to affordable, quality healthcare and preventable services around the world, including in areas that are resource poor. So at Duke, we've decided to take action. We're combating maternal and child mortality, HIV/AIDS, tuberculosis, and some of the other major scourges of global health. We're drawing on more than a dozen years of research on scaling social impact at CASE, the Center for the Advancement of Social Entrepreneurship, in partnership with Duke Medicine's International Partnership for Innovative Healthcare Delivery and the Global Health Institute. And we're harnessing the time and talent of our faculty, our staff, our students, and our alumni from across the university. Business, policy, law, engineering, medicine, and we're partnering with the Investors Circle and others to scan the world looking for social entrepreneurs with proven innovations, proven innovations in global health and to work with them very carefully over a 3-year period to help them develop skills, knowledge networks, business models, and resources so they can save many, many more lives at birth and beyond. Now, we're in partnership with USAID's Higher Education Solutions Network and the Global Development Lab, who has generously funded, with matching support from Duke, the creation of SEED, the Social Entrepreneurship Accelerator Duke, which is a development lab for scaling innovations in global health. Let's watch.
So you come up with a great idea for healthcare. People get really excited. You test it out. Maybe you get some press. And a little luck. That first round of funding. But sometimes the momentum peaks and tapers off. You run up against big challenges like finding and keeping the right staff, navigating local regulations, getting customers to appreciate your value, and of course, funding. These are the nuts and bolts issues that can keep great ideas from spreading. How do you go from 2 or 3 clinics in one country to helping people worldwide? What's it take to make an amazing health idea global? That's where we come in.
So we clearly need to work on the voice track on that. But let me just say that if you do know of social entrepreneurs with proven innovations in global health, or you yourself are aware of investors or others who could support them, or if you know how to amp up a voice soundtrack on a video, please contact us. We'd be delighted to work with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Matt. Finally, please join me in congratulating the Sustainable City Year program. SYCP is a massively scaled annual partnership between a university and a city in which existing university courses are directed towards the city's self-identified real-world sustainability and livability projects. SCYP typically directs between 20 and 35 courses, engaging over 500 students across more than 10 disciplines, who in turn give more than 60,000 hours of creative thinking and problem solving. SCYP is based on existing courses, existing city work plans, and existing administrative structures of universities and cities, making the model highly replicable and adaptable. Mark Schlotzberg co-leads this program and is a co-director of the University of Oregon's Sustainable Cities Initiative. Congratulations, Mark, and welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'm very pleased to introduce the Sustainable City Year program to everyone here. It's a radically simple model that takes advantage of existing resources on all of our campuses, but harnesses and directs them in a way that increases impact both on and off campus. So we work at the scale of cities. So we see cities as a key administrative and geographic entity to help take on meeting some of our most pressing challenges, whether it's climate change, public health, obesity, social inequality, a whole host of other livability and quality of life issues in our community. And the key is, as many of you know in this room, what to do about these problems is not our barrier, right? There's a lot of existing knowledge of how to address these critical issues. The barrier here is how to put knowledge into practice. And this is a model to help facilitate and accelerate that. And it's all based on this embarrassingly simple question. And that is, what if we could connect existing courses taught in their existing ways with their existing faculty to a single city over an academic year to work on projects that the city helps identify? So we all know that across all of our campuses, there's many examples in many different disciplines of faculty leading project-based or applied courses, often in one-off kind of ways, going all their separate directions. This is a program that takes many of those at the initiation of faculty themselves, so no arm twisting, and points them and harnesses them to a single place, creating a scale that changes the impact both on and off campus for all the stakeholders involved. So the scale is everything. Scale changes everything. So for us in Oregon, at the University of Oregon, what this translates to, as you just heard, is in any given year we're working on 18 projects that span 25 to 35 different courses We work across 10 to 12 disciplines that span 5 of the 7 schools and colleges on our campus so far, engaging about 500 students of undergrad and grad levels that give 60 to 80,000 hours of effort to a city's identified projects. And again, this is based on classes that students are already taking with faculty that are already teaching those classes in the ways that faculty control the content. So this is not new courses, no arm twisting. It's an opt-in model for faculty to participate, and students are just signing up for the classes that they would ordinarily take anyway, just harnessing them in a different way. With a little bonus. So we actually charge the city between $250,000 and $350,000 to participate in the program. Not our first year, not our pilot year, we couldn't do this, but now that we're in our 5th year, we actually have cities, we send out a request for proposals that cities apply to, and the winner gets to pay us a fee, which is a pretty nice deal. The work that we do has to be part of the city's work plan. So this is not extra money for the city. This is money that the city has to put into getting things done anyway. For us, it allows us to manage the program internally to the university to a high degree of professionalization, and it demonstrates that the city has real skin in the game because we want them to take student ideas and put them into practice. We are not asking cities to make up projects just as philanthropy for the next generation. This is real work that the city needs help moving forward, but yet could take advantage of the brilliant young minds, innovation, and fearlessness that our students have. We work on a whole wide range of projects, from sustainable architecture, sustainable business practices, sustainable transportation, engaging marginalized communities into public decision-making. The whole host of things that our campuses do are required to meet some of these very complex issues around sustainability, climate change, social inequality. These are pesky perennial problems, as our city partners talk to us about, and they require all the resources that we have across our campus focused in one location. The model is not based on the city where our university is located, by that green star. We've worked with cities that are 2 hours to our north, 2.5 hours to our south, and even on the other side of the Cascades, which are really big mountains out west. So it also disrupts the idea that a university can only focus on their home city. In fact, we've yet to work with our home city because we're waiting for them to demonstrate that they're serious about wanting to put student ideas into practice. And when they do, we would love to do it to work with them as well. The impacts are in all the directions that you might imagine. Students, as you know, work harder when they do applied work. When they know that their ideas might be put into practice, they put more effort into it, and they want to take more of these types of courses. By having a coordinated, centralized way to bring projects to faculty, it actually makes it easier for faculty to participate in this than to go off and create their own one-off projects with their own context. What university doesn't want to work across silos and address some of society's most pressing issues? The problem with many universities have had is how to figure that out. And this is a framework that is embedded into the existing structures of our campuses. We're all teaching courses already. Why not just harness them and direct them to work across disciplines to make impact? Cities are getting thousands of ideas that they're putting into practice at a variety of scales, from saving $1 million 1 year and every year thereafter from a business class, to putting a new bicycle infrastructure, to bringing new voices into public decision making. It's fantastic. We've also heard from city managers that with staff, for city staff, engaging with 520-something-year-olds who for an academic year re-energizes them and re-educates them about doing their public sector work. So we're not only training the next generation of leaderships, we're retraining and re-energizing those who have already gone into the public sector to do the public's work. And of course, this has multiple levels to society, as you might imagine. And it's all based on the resources that already exist on our campuses. The classes that we're already teaching, the faculty that are already inclined to do project-based learning in their classes, so no arm twisting of faculty that don't want to play, just those that are inclined to do this and harnessing them in a new way. This is a resource that exists everywhere. About 3 years ago, we started training other universities how to replicate, adopt, and adapt the model, because other cities from other states were asking us to work with their cities, so we thought it would be better to actually train other universities to do work in their own states. And with a very minimal effort, really through one annual conference that's happening next April, where we give away all of the inside secrets of how we've done this, we now have 20 universities around the US and 3 different countries that are in various stages of adopting and adapting the model, which is incredible. Some of these programs are now exceeding what we're doing at the University of Oregon in scale and scope and disciplinary engagement. It's unbelievable, proving to us that it's a highly, highly replicable approach, whether it's to a large university, small liberal arts school, private, public, minority-serving universities. All kinds of universities are putting this into practice. Because it's an unprecedented scale of engagement, of harnessing existing resources and pointing them to one location to make change, we have received quite a lot of attention from the New York Times, Chronicle of Higher Ed, Financial Times, Forbes, et cetera. And we are thrilled to also be recognized here by Ashoka with the Cordis Innovation Award. It's really humbling and thrilling for us. So in a nutshell, that's the work that we're doing. There's a tremendous, tremendous amount of untapped resources on all of our campuses, embedded in the existing courses that we offer, the existing students that are coming to our campuses that want to change the world yesterday, right? The existing faculty that are already inclined to do project-based work. And yet, if we could figure out a way, or using this model, to harness those resources, direct them purposefully and with intention, we can make even greater impact. So I'd like to acknowledge also my co-director, Nico Larco, who's a professor of architecture. Together, we've created this program with the help of many others, and we really feel that this is kind of a subversive way to work inside of the system to accelerate change and help society meet some of its most pressing challenges. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm happy to talk more about it later.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations. That wraps up the 2015 Ashoka U Cordis Innovation Awards. These awards demonstrate how students, faculty, and community members can transform the ways in which communities and colleges and universities can prepare students as change makers while also positively impacting their community. We hope you each learned something new this morning. And if you're open and want to continue learning and have opportunities for collaboration, each of the presentations you heard, each of the speakers will be featured on our agenda throughout the exchange. If you look in your program, each session which features an innovation award will have a special sign and symbol. So you can definitely dig right in. I know they're all also very eager to keep chatting with you and sharing their ideas and innovations with you. Ashoka U's vision for the Innovation Awards is that they spur collaboration and partnerships to even further replicate these ideas. We invite each of you to reach out and continue learning more. Thank you.